like it a little bit too much. It makes me think of hot, hot, spicy chicken.
Right? I might serve you some later if you're lucky.
Golly.
Happy Halloween, everybody! Yay! In honor of the holiday, we will be talking with the Walking Dead creator, Robert Kirkman.
And as you all have probably heard, Disney bought LucasFilm yesterday. We'll be discussing how this could change your lives forever.
It's crazy. So what are you doing for Halloween?
But I don't know. I don't know.
Why didn't you dress up?
Well, because I asked if we were dressing up, and they said no,
I know.
and then you just showed up in this. And
That's what happened.
So now
and
I'm going...
Why are we not allowed to dress up for Halloween? And they said, well, you can wear that. And I was like, yes, that was my plan all along.
Right. And I got this from wardrobe.
And you're wearing, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm going as the guy who will steal your girlfriend tonight after you spend too much time ogling this girl at a party. Just the nice fella over in the corner who's...
Where are you going to
I don't know. I can either go, like, there's, like, a couple street parties, block parties.
Oh.
To pray?
To the parade.
Oh, I thought you said that you can go to pray.
Every Halloween I go pray.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Or like a friend of mine, friends of mine have little kids, and a lot of kids go over to their house and dress up, and that's always cute, and I like that.
Oh, precious.
Yeah.
Yay.
So maybe one of those things. And yourself? Do you have any plans?
Yeah, it's my friend's birthday. Yeah, I've just been wearing this all. I literally have been wearing this outfit since like 7 o'clock this morning. But yeah, it's my friend's birthday, so we're all gonna go out and dressed up. Obviously. Yeah. And hit a happy hour or 2 or 3. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the night goes.
I'll bet you're gonna make some girls really angry.
I hope not.
No, you will.
Okay.
You will. No, you have.
All right. Great. All right. Time to run down the top things on the web.
We're going around the net. Trick or treat, Candace. I need Halloween videos, and I need them hard.
Fair enough.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I got a question for you. When you want to make the Canadian Royal Mounted Police look like idiots, who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters?
Correct.
Oh.
Wow. Smart ass. Get here. Sorry, sir. Get here. No,
you don't do that, you stupid idiot.
You're under arrest for mischief, being drunk in a public place. Watch money if it... Sorry, sir. Put that away, please.
I had no idea that you could be arrested for mischief.
Yes, in Canada, you can be arrested for mischief or tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery.
Yeah, however, this was Canada, so they let him go after he said that he was sorry.
They're so nice there.
They're so nice, very polite. Ironically, one of those cops is shaped like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Ghostbusters. Josh, anything can happen on Halloween, especially when you are Tim Curry in a made-for-TV movie.
Anything can happen on Halloween. Your dog could turn into a cat. There may be a toad in your bass guitar, or your sister could turn into a bat. Anything can happen on Halloween. It's better than a video. Gremlin's gonna mess up every cassette from London to Idaho.
So good.
I wonder, what does that vampire suck? This Twilight prequel is already better than all the other Twilight movies combined.
Definitely. This was my favorite movie growing up, actually, and it taught me so much about Halloween.
Such as?
If I hadn't seen this movie, I would have never known that a dog could turn into a cat on Halloween.
Or perhaps there's a frog and a bass guitar.
Or your sister could turn into a bat. It's mind-boggling.
And really, cassette tapes from London to Idaho.
Idaho.
Hide your cassette tapes, everybody.
It stops in Idaho, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's great. I love that.
Washington State, you guys are fine.
Totes fine. Now, normally I am a fan of cat videos, but this one's a little bit different.
I don't like it. I don't like it. You know, Frosted Flakes ads are weird. This Tony the Tiger reboot is
Reboot?
great. Yeah, it is a reboot.
It's a reboot?
Yeah, it's where it's in one boat and then they put it into a different boat.
I like it.
thanks,
That's good. That's good. Way to cover.
Thank you. Joel Schumacher's take on Tigger is a bit disturbing, though.
It is very disturbing. I know I'm not supposed to be turned on by animal videos, but that tiger is in really good shape.
Yeah, he's in really good shape, but if you hang out with that guy, it would be the worst, like, person to, like, be your wingman.
I'm
or
not
your
saying
boyfriend.
I want to hang out with him.
Yeah, good, because it would just be like hanging out with someone like this. The worst, just like hang out, be social, like talk to someone.
That is really creepy.
Make
actually.
some noise.
Real creepy.
Yeah.
And now, you know what's really scary on Halloween?
Hmm.
The weather guy from your local news.
Sex offender, Charlie Brown. You know that pumpkin's not allowed within 100 feet of churches or schools.
Not at all, but he does have some incredible dance moves. And next time I'm at a party, maybe tonight, I'm gonna bust those moves out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, see, then that's how you make those girls upset. You're gonna be wearing that and you're gonna be dancing.
Dance moves?
Yeah.
Oh, I know y'all.
And girls will be like, isn't that girl an idiot? And their boyfriends will be like, what?
No, they'll be like, yes, she is.
Yeah.
And finally, it's time for an AOTS classic set to the beat of a Michael McDonald tune. For the second year in a row, here's our favorite So Bad It's Good tribute to the season, Trickin' to the Treat.
You don't know me, but I'm a vampire. You look at me like I'm doing the trick or treat. Everyone's a kid when it's Halloween.
Tricking it to the treats.
Tricking it to the treats.
Tricking it to the treats.
Lots of spooky
Tricking it to the treats.
I'm running everywhere.
Tricking it to the...
You know, this video, very popular around the offices here at Attack of the Show.
So popular.
A little history, it started as a fail, and it has worked its way into people's hearts. It really sticks with you, and all through this week, people have been singing it in the offices, and you can't go around. A lot of the writers, a lot of the producers, you can just hear people sort of shouting out.
You.
The you. You!
So, not yet. Not yet. So in honor of that, I think we should do a Michael McDonald off
Oh, I
and
couldn't
see
even help myself.
who has the best you.
Oh.
You start.
You're gonna get crushed here.
I know.
You!
You.
You!
You. One more.
One more?
Yeah, you can do it.
You! You!
Those two.
I know, we're on different
Oh.
cameras.
You. Who wins? Clearly. Clearly Josh wins, and this was my idea. But you definitely win.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's all the Around the Net we have for today. Still ahead, Disney just bought LucasFilm.
Devin Farad Faraci and Jenna Bush will let you know when you can expect to see Goofy in a Darth Vader costume right after this.
This portion of Attack of the Show is brought to you by Sony.
Disney shocked the entertainment world yesterday when they bought LucasFilm and the Star Wars franchise. Joining me now to explain it all, Badass-in-Chief at Badass Digest, Devin Faraci. And Girl Meets Lightsaber blogger and the new entertainment editor at Fanhattan, Jenna Bush. Welcome to you both. This is a big day in sort of the sci-fi nerd world. How big, scale of 1 to 10, where does this fit?
400.
400.
Yeah. No, this seriously, I can't think of movie news that has made me more excited. I might have laughed and freaked out and jumped and threw the cat off my lap and yeah, I brought my lightsaber because it was in my trunk.
Right. Just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah, some people keep jumper cables.
Yeah. Who needs jumper cables
when you have a lightsaber? That's fair. That's fair. So yeah, huge news.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then Devin, like they're saying they want to get a movie out maybe by 2015.
Right.
Is that realistic?
If they began pre-production last week, yeah. I mean, like, it's that tight. I've seen movies go into production with less lead time at this size, but they don't turn out that well. I have to assume that Disney, this has been a deal a long time in the coming. I have to assume while they were working out the deal, they were also sort of working out the story or the concept for whatever Episode 7 is going to be.
Right. And then I also heard that they got the, like, Skywalker Ranch came with this?
ILM, the whole thing, every bit of it, yeah.
So Lucas doesn't live there?
He's got a box now.
Oh.
Well, maybe they'll mass market the Skywalker Ranch wine that I've heard that they have.
Ooh, that would be worth.
I would drink that all day.
I'm shocked. Now, do you think that, Jenna, do you think they might bring back any of the old classics? Like, will Mark Hamill perhaps be making an appearance?
Oh, God. I honestly hope that they do. The fangirl in me really, really hopes that they do. I don't think they can really keep them away. I think they have to have them there in some capacity.
Right, a Harrison Ford, a Mark Hamill, somebody.
Yeah.
Chewie.
Chewie.
Chewie's dead.
No,
Chewie's dead.
Whoa. These kids watch the show. Chewie's fine.
There's no Santa Claus either,
Chewie's
sorry.
fine.
No, but I mean, I think they have to be there in some way.
Yeah. In some capacity. Now, like, a lot of times there was, like, the Tron reboot, and they sort of do that de-aging thing. Do you think they, make them sort of old, wise Jedis if people come back?
I hope that they just keep Mark Hamill at his current grizzled state. I think that's. I think he looks good. He's grown into it. He's grown into his age. He looks wise and elderly. It looks fine. I think Carrie Fisher looks fine. I think she could be the president of the galaxy or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I think that de-aging them with the Tron stuff is just creepy.
Yeah, I mean, even in Tron, there was, for a moment it was fine, but by the time you get to the long speech, you're like, oh, no, that's just creepy.
Right.
No, stop.
I have heard, though, I have, like, a couple friends, sort of actor friends on the inside, and apparently in a lot of movies there's, like, a digital makeup budget. So even some stars who were, like, in their 40s and 50s, you're not seeing them the way they really...
I know a major star who did a major action movie last year where they took 40 pounds off of him in every single scene.
Yeah.
I'm actually 78.
70, well,
digital.
Yeah. All digital. We got hot tech over here at AOTS. AOTS. Yes. I'm new this week. Now, what do you think, Devin, in terms of directors? Like, should they go for someone big? Do you try to get, like,
I mean, all the nerds in the world want them to get, like, a David Fincher or Paul Thomas Anderson or something like that, and I hope they don't. And because the reason why is I wanted David Fincher or Paul Thomas Anderson to make David Fincher or Paul Thomas Anderson movies. I think for Star Wars, I want to see journeyman directors who can sort of work within the universe, who can, Kirshner, who directed Empire Strikes Back, was not exactly Orson Welles, but that's the best film in the entire series. And you just bring in the right guy who can do the job, who can work in the universe, and I think it'll be great. Let Paul Thomas Anderson go off and make real movies. Let somebody else make Star Wars movies.
Is there anyone you would like to see direct this? Do you have any, like, wish list?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I totally agree with Devin, but if they are going to bring someone in, for me, I'd love to see Guillermo del Toro do it. I'd love to see Peter Jackson do it. They're not going to.
Right.
But I would love to see it.
Sure. That's all all I said was wish list. I didn't say it was going to make it happen.
I'm wishing.
Now, fans of this franchise get really into it. you have a lightsaber in your trunk.
And a Boba Fett helmet.
And a Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Just keep some of these things to yourself. Like, do you think that this will be sort of the Phantom Menace and the last three, the prequel, the pre-trilogy? They kind of felt like they were kids' movies. Do you think that they're going to go darker? As it's Disney, I would sort of feel like they're going to go kid style, but...
I don't think so. I don't think they will. I mean, I think here's the thing. There are people our age who have loved this since the beginning. They're also, we're going to die off eventually, so they're going to want...
Spoiler.
78. But I think they obviously want to bring kids in too, so they can keep this going as long as possible. I mean, he originally had ideas for 12 movies. So, and actually, Lucas just said that he wants to do this maybe for the next 100 years. Not him, personally.
Right,
but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, these were kids' movies originally. There's nothing wrong with them being for 10-year-olds because that's who they're really aimed at. You just don't make them terrible and for 10-year-olds. That's sort of the secret. That's sort of the secret. And I think if it hits that thing of being a kid and wanting adventure and action and being swept away, if you're 70 or you're 10, it's going to work. Just don't make it suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think in terms of what Disney's done with Pixar and Marvel, I really don't think you're going to see this become like Mickey Mouse. Just not.
Disney has owned Miramax, who released, hard R movies. They're okay with that as long as it makes money.
Yeah. Okay. I do remember it was the end of, I think, A New Hope when they're all just sort of standing there and everyone's clapping. I remember being in a theater and my dad just going, "All right!" Like this. I was like, really? Like, so, I mean, I was tiny and my dad, it was my first memory in a theater is my dad going, "All right!" And then, does anything else stand out in this whole deal? Like, what are you thinking moving forward?
There are two things that really stand out to me. One, I'm concerned about the future of Dark Horse Comics. They are really heavily into the Star Wars license, and that's going to go away. When this license is up, is almost no... I can't imagine how Disney doesn't take back the license and just give it to Marvel.
Right.
So that's, I think, consideration seriously for Dark Horse.
And kind of heartbreaking, actually.
Oh, rough. But
on the,
I don't want to end on a downer.
On the upside,
there
though,
we go.
I think.
Thank you.
All right, I'm not gonna. So Fox owns the distribution rights to the original trilogy, and they own the first Star Wars totally. They fully own it. They have distro rights to Empire and Jedi until 2020. I would be stunned if Disney does not get in, work out a deal, and finally, for the first time, now that Lucas has been removed out of the equation, release the original versions with the original effects and Han shooting first and all that stuff. And I think we'll see that probably by about 2015 to tie in with Episode 7.
Yeah, those bothered me. It was like Jabba Hutt, like moving. Like I never, for what?
Everybody hates it.
Yeah.
Except George Lucas. And now that he's gone, we can finally be happy.
Yeah. That's another. Like, yeah, I feel like, people have to have a little bit of love for George Lucas if you love...
Do they?
I think if you love the Star Wars franchise, I think some, right? No? That's a no. That's a pretty strong no.
I have love for him. I don't like the changes, but I have love for him.
Yeah. All right, good. Well, he has $4 billion now, so we're going to...
Yeah,
it's true.
He's just fine.
He doesn't need our love.
If he's watching and you have $4 billion, George, maybe I do love you after all. Let's call me.
Very good. Thank you so much to Devin Faraci and Jenna Bush. Still ahead, Tiffany Smith talks Wreck-It Ralph with John C. Reilly, Sarah Silverman, and Jane Lynch. Stick around.
Hey, good news! G4 is showing the first 3 Karate Kid movies back to back. Watch Mr. Miyagi teach Daniel-san about life, love, and crane kicks all day this Saturday right here on G4.
Why the sad face, Morgan Webb?
I didn't get the gift I wanted.
Don't let this happen to you.
X-Play presents the Ultimate Buyer's Guide, a 1-hour special featuring the hottest games, systems, and accessories for this holiday season. Everyone plays the X-Play Ultimate Buyer's Guide, November 12th at 6, only on G4.
With the NBA season tipping off, it's time to get in the game with these 3 baller apps. Because each team plays a whopping 82 games over the course of a season, it can be hard to keep track of when your favorite players take the court. Well, not anymore, thanks to the NBA Game Time app.
This handy guide tracks every team's schedule and standings and is constantly updated with live team and player stats, so you can keep tabs on all the action. And for more in-depth analysis, it gives you access to hundreds of videos, including highlights from around the league and full game recaps. It also features a new mode called Live Court that lets you follow the game in real time even when you're away from your TV. A wealth of basketball information is at your fingertips. Pick up the official app of the NBA for free on either iTunes or the Google Play Store. Fantasy sports have become all the rage, and if you've joined a new league this season, then you need the ESPN Fantasy Basketball app. This useful app lets you manage all your fantasy teams on the go. You can adjust your lineups in real time moments before the game tips off and get access to exclusive news and analysis courtesy of ESPN. Follow live scores for every game and connect with other members in your league by initiating trades or adding or dropping players directly from your phone. The app works with any fantasy league you have registered at ESPN.com, so download it onto your iPhone for free and begin your journey towards claiming a fantasy championship. And finally, sometimes you don't want to watch the game, you want to play the game. But unfortunately, basketball isn't easy for those of us who are vertically challenged. That's where NBA 2K13 comes in. You can create a dynasty using your favorite team, just like in the console version, or you can play one of the new modes like NBA Greatest Games, which lets you relive some of the best performances in league history, like Kobe Bryant's 81-point stunner against the Toronto Raptors.
Drive so hard to the hoop, unstoppable if you don't get a body in front of it.
And after one of the most turbulent off-seasons in NBA history that saw more big-name players traded than ever before, you'll be happy to know that the game features completely up-to-date rosters. Get all these features and more for only $8 on any Apple or Android device, and get your virtual game on.
Easy look in the paint.
With so many great players and great teams, this is shaping up to be the best single season of basketball ever.
All the news you need to know. Feed.
Trick or treat! It's Wednesday, October 31st, and here are your top stories. Today, the tech world has been making a lot of noise. Here's what's happening. First up, Google has finally released its search app for iOS, and it packs one awesome new feature: voice recognition. Yeah! A lot of blogs are calling this an assault on Siri, and they might be right. Google software answers simple questions out loud or quickly taps into Google search to pull up the information you need. For example, if you ask to see a movie trailer, it'll find and play it immediately. Check it out for yourself. Sounds awesome. And speaking of Siri, if you're in China, you better figure out a different way to find hookers. Because Apple has blocked all queries and escorts and prostitutes, but only in China. For all you gentlemen in other countries, not to worry. Apparently, this is in response to complaints from Siri users, but why were they looking in the first place if they didn't want to know? I don't know. And a ton of entertainment news broke today. First, Rockstar announced that Grand Theft Auto 5 will be released next spring and will be available for pre-order starting November 5th. The latest carjacking installment takes place in a fictionalized Los Angeles, and the game's developers promise that it is the largest environment they have ever created. And X-Men fans have something to look forward to, because Bryan Singer is making a return to the Super Mutant franchise and will be directing X-Men Days of Future Past. Singer served as a producer on X-Men First Class, so I think it's safe to say he'll do a good job on the sequel. The film is set to hit theaters on July 18th, 2014. And finally, an upcoming horror western that'll supposedly be brutally violent and probably awesome has just been cast. The movie, called Bone Tomahawk, follows a sheriff who enlists some help to rescue a group of captives from cave-dwelling cannibals. It'll star Kurt Russell, Peter Sarsgaard, and Jennifer Carpenter. Production is set to begin next year, but no release date has been announced yet. I'm Candace Bailey, and happy Halloween! You've just been fed. And now, we trip into the world of Wreck-It Ralph with John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman.
I'm gonna wreck it!
Better hit restart because the video game avatars have come to life and they want out. In Wreck-It Ralph Gaming's biggest bad guy sets out to become a hero and inadvertently sets a deadly foe on the loose.
Rootin' tootin', ready for shooting.
First things first, I want to know, hands down, favorite video game growing up was?
Space Invaders. Yeah, because that was the first one. That was the big game changer.
So do you consider yourself more the quiet words with friends gamer or the smack-talking caffeinated online first-person shooter type?
I got an old Nintendo 64 and like I've been playing GoldenEye all over again.
Yes,
and
that's such a good one.
I love talking smack. I was playing my nephew who's 13 in the game. I'm just like, eat this!
Now, not everyone knows QWERTYs. So how long did it take you to learn it, and can you tell me how to say where's the bathroom?
Where's the bathroom in QWERTYs is, Oh, no.
What was that?
You just
You
asked.
need poo-poo.
You
Poo-poo. That works.
How dare you.
A lot of times when you do an animated film, each actor goes in the room by themselves, does their lines, the other person comes in later, but you and Sarah did them together, right?
Every time I'm talking to someone, they were there in the room with me. Yeah, Sarah and I had a lot of fun together. We did a lot of kind of quick-witted repartee, let's say.
What's that? Didn't hear you. Your breath is so bad it made my ears numb.
And then to have her there for those more emotional, kind of heartbreaking scenes helped a lot. You know, having someone right there in front of you to react to it.
I'm not leaving you here alone.
Did you just go home and do the weirdest voices and faces in front of the mirror to come up with it?
I didn't. It was just like instant. What's your name? Just like a younger me, you know, on a higher speed with maybe a little cold. It's a double stripe. Double stripes break, good doy.
For you guys, there was a lot of romance going on. What are the rules of inter-game dating? Does age
it
or
is
platform
taboo.
matter?
It is. It's kind of taboo. Well, I think well, the thing is love is the universal language, and you know, we came from different worlds.
Opposites attract. Like, Felix had no idea that this world even existed, much less this character. And so when you're, you know, when this 8-bit guy is stumbling into this like high definition hubba hubba.
Do you have any idea what he's saying when he does that?
No, but I'm sure it's dirty. It's make your mama's proud time.
I love my mama!
Were there any characters in the movie that you were like, oh my gosh, we spotted
No,
them?
not for me. I am so out of it. But for you and everybody who sees it, they say, oh my gosh, this character,
But also,
that character.
this is so weird, but even the specific sound effects they got.
I don't want to be the bad guy anymore.
That sound is so iconic to that video game. It's like, they really nailed that.
Power up your life meter and join Wreck-It Ralph on his quest before it's game over. Watch out for headshots.
Hold the phone. We got tweets.
Tweets.
Tweets. What do we got?
Nardle the Dwarf.
Nardle the Dwarf says, Candace will please mess up Josh's hair. There isn't one single hair out of place.
Oh, I will gladly.
Yeah, but it goes right back together.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. That's how long it takes to get back together.
Oh my gosh. That's silly. That's silly.
Still a bit messed up, but
Your
it's
hair is
okay.
kind of like Jimmy Neutron.
It is like Jimmy Neutron. I was
I like
looking
it.
at that to maybe be him for Halloween, but then
You
I decided to
should.
go as this. For that tweet, you get one of the actual prop axes from the movie Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Oh, which is available on Blu-ray and DVD from 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment.
We will even throw in a certificate of authenticity so you know that it's not just something we found while clearing out our cubicles. If you want to be a part of the show and end up on our Twitter wall, tweet us at AOTS or use the hashtag AOTS. Stay tuned. Walking Dead mastermind Robert Kirkman will be here right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
The feed is brought to you by Pep Boys. Pep Boys does everything for less. Visit pepboys.com.
Don't just watch G4, wear it. G4TV.com/store.
Earlier, Candace sat down for a little zombie talk with Robert Kirkman.
Please welcome back Robert Kirkman.
Thanks for
I
having
always
me.
love having you here.
Oh, well, don't put too much pressure
I think
on.
everyone loves having you here.
Yeah.
Now, on the last episode of The Walking Dead, you introduced the governor.
Yes, I did, yeah.
Now, do you enjoy making a character more menacing than the actual zombies themselves?
Yeah, I think that, having a human antagonist is really going to make this season have a lot more punch. I think that, we've shown you that zombies are threatening. That's a problem that they're having to deal with. By the third season, they've, kind of gotten a shorthand on, knowing exactly how to deal with that. But now they have to deal with a human threat, something that they can't predict, something that could do literally anything. And I think that, we'll see the governor be, he'll be doing that.
The show has diverged from the comic books in some really important ways. Why did you make those changes?
To keep myself interested. No, I mean, I'm writing this for the second time, so anytime there's any kind of, new characters added, like Merle or Daryl Dixon, or, new storylines that are thrown in, or changes to the storyline, it makes me more excited, so yeah.
Speaking of, I love that Merle is back.
Oh, he is definitely.
It's so cool! I'm so excited that he's back.
We love our Michael Rooker.
Any storylines that you think you've improved the second time around?
I mean, countless. I mean, there's a lot about the show that I think is, in my opinion, improvements over what I did in the comic. I think, in particular, I really like the way the Shane storyline unfolded over a lot more episodes than it did issues of the comic. And, while there are aspects of the comic where it's like, okay, that was a little bit more jarring and that was a little bit more shocking, the way that we've been able to use hindsight to build up to moments more and make a lot of the things a lot more emotional, I think is really cool. I mean, it's certainly not a case of me looking at the comic book going, I want to improve that. I'm not happy with how that went. I'm happy with how that went. People can still read that comic. I just want to do something
Change
different
it.
and add to it.
Go a different direction.
Yeah.
On the show, absolutely nobody is safe. You said this, right?
True,
No one is
yes.
safe. Anyone can die at any moment. In fact, one of the stars of the show wrote you a very angry letter, I hear. Because in the comic book, they learned that they were killed off. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I won't say who because I don't want to spoil anything, but I will say that, it was the first time I've killed a comic book character that is currently being portrayed on the show. Everyone else I've killed, I either killed before the show existed or their character died in the comic book before the show came about.
And this is a loved character.
Yes, and so this was kind of a big deal, and yeah, he wrote a really angry letter. Oh, I said he, so I cut out.
Bleep.
Whoops. But yeah, it was good getting that reaction. And the thing about this show is that the actors know that they could go at any minute. It's kind of, you don't really buy The Walking Dead, you rent The Walking Dead, I guess is something you could say. But, it is reassuring to them that just because something happened in the comic book series, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen in the show. Something could happen way later in the show, or it could happen way sooner. So they should be on edge, and
at all times.
There's no indication as to.
They must bring you presents every day to work to butter you up.
I haven't bought an iPod in a while. Just gonna say.
Now, is it strange to walk through the different places that you created in the comic books?
Yeah, I mean, seeing the prison, brought to life. I mean, that was stuff drawn by Charlie Adlard in the comic, and being able to actually go in a cell and close the door and sit in there and. It's. I like to say it's stupid because that's the only way I can describe it. It's completely indescribable. It's just like. This was a comic book page that I looked at 8 years ago, and now I am living in it. Like, I don't know what to say. Like,
it's
just
a dream
weird.
come true.
Yeah.
You create this image, and then all of a sudden you snap your finger, and it's there for you.
Well, it's a little bit more involved than snapping a finger.
That's what happens in my mind. You say something, and you snap your finger, and it's just done. I'm curious, when you're walking through stores or like searching online, do you ever just like look at random tools and think, that's a zombie killing tool? That's what I would use, or how you'd use it?
Yeah, I try not to let it distract me too much, but I have to say, I've been in a hardware store before looking at a pipe wrench going, I could totally put that in the comic or the show or whatever, and people will be with me and they'll just see me, staring blankly at, some kind of mundane item, and they don't know what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking about bashing in skulls.
That's awesome. Now, considering you are the master of zombie gore, is your house all decked out for Halloween with like dead bodies all over the place?
I would like to say yes, but otherwise it's just going to be a huge disappointment. No, I have young children; they're scared of this stuff. I got some bats. I got some pumpkins.
You got some bats.
It's extremely tame. Yeah, a couple of jack-o'-lanterns.
A skeleton hanging.
There's no gore. I do have like a maquette that Greg Nicotero made for me that I keep hidden in the basement so that the kids don't. don't damage it.
Well, before we go, what is the status of The Walking Dead cutting room floor? When will everyone get to read it?
This book. Well, the book is supposed to be something really special. It's all of my handwritten plots for, like 50 issues printed so that you can see them. And there's a lot of story that was left on the cutting room floor, a lot of different events that were supposed to take place that didn't. And I'm trying to compile a bunch of notes to explain like what my shorthand is and really just make it an all-encompassing, like really involved, like really in-depth look at what goes into crafting the story of The Walking Dead. And it's taken a lot longer than I thought it would. So it's been delayed, but I'm hoping to get it wrapped up very soon, and then it should be in stores shortly thereafter.
I think it's so cool that you're doing that. Robert Kirkman,
thanks a lot.
Thank you for coming to visit. You can catch The Walking Dead Sunday nights on AMC.
In honor of Halloween, here's another installment of the AOTS classic, Slasher School.
And please don't sacrifice any more victims on the pentagram in the front hallway. We just had it cleaned.
Okay, folks, today's class emphasizes the fundamentals of victim selection. For example, what kind of victim should you never try to kill? Yes.
Black people?
No. That sounds racist. You should try to kill everyone regardless of their race or creed. Crazy eyes.
Naked werewolves?
Mask face. I don't know what that means. Yes. Okay, I'm talking about virgins. Virgins always survive, and they usually wind up killing the slasher, typically with a gun, or a mystical spell, or a gang of dream warriors. The most important thing to remember as a new slasher is that you should never try to kill virgins.
Thou must slayeth the whores and strumpets first.
Why is he looking at me when he says that?
Guys, focus. I'm trying to teach you how to properly terrorize a community here.
I have a question. How do we identify which ones are virgins?
Good question. Eric, you're a young man. Any thoughts on what virgins look like?
Can I please get some clothes?
Not right now. Are you a virgin?
That's not really any of your business.
That answer means yes. So, class, everyone look at Eric. That's what a virgin looks like.
I hate my life.
Does that help?
But isn't that like a loophole?
How so?
Well, if you're a slasher and a virgin, doesn't that mean that other slashers can't kill you, or just that you can't kill yourself? Ow! What the f***?
Testing a theory. Art thou a virgin?
You shot me in the face!
And yet thou livest. Virgin.
Let's just take an informal survey. How many of you are virgins?
Nah.
Strumpet.
And that explains why you're all filled with homicidal rage.
Quit it!
Still ahead, we check out the awesome mural work of artsy Australian couple DabsMyla. Stick around.
Tomorrow on Attack of the Show.
Actor Ike Barinholtz will be here live with the latest on the comedy The Mindy Project. Then Jessica Chobot and Alex Albrecht bust out their parkour skills for Assassin's Creed 3. And Sarah Underwood hits up the cast and crew of The Man with the Iron Fist, including RZA and Eli Roth.
It's Attack of the Show tomorrow at 7.
TV's #1 source for the newest ways to game. X-Play. Next. Only on G4.
There are two great tastes that taste great together.
Chocolate and peanut butter.
Well, yes, that, but I was thinking more along the lines of graffiti and photorealism.
Oh.
My name's Dabs.
And I'm Myla.
We're both artists.
For most, creating a piece of art is a solitary experience. But this artistic duo of Dabs and Myla proves to be the exception to the rule. For the past 8 years, the two have worked as one, creating fantastical images, paintings, and murals that combine cartoon-like characters with photorealistic cityscapes. So how did these two artists with such different styles find each other, and how do they work together to create their unique blend of art? As children, the two had both been interested in painting.
I just loved drawing and painting and stuff when I was a kid. And for Dabs, he took that inspiration and started painting graffiti when he was a teenager.
Graffiti began with just rebellion and just kind of doing the wrong thing because I was pretty interested in that. Then I kind of took an interest in the art side of graffiti, I guess, and started to really push myself.
Eventually, Dabs took his graffiti influences to art school where he met Myla.
We both started art school in our mid-20s. We met each other about 9 or 10 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
As fate would have it, the two eventually went on a first date. But instead of the usual dinner and a movie, the two decided to collaborate on a piece of art.
We had a canvas
there or something?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I don't even know how it got there. It was just there, and then we both started painting on it. It sounds like the kind of thing that would have been your idea.
From when I was like 13 or something, I always loved painting and drawing super detailed things. And probably when we were at school, that's when I started painting like buildings and cityscapes.
The style of art that I make is heavily influenced in old animation and kind of like a cartoon style. I guess the main idea of what I'm doing and what we're both doing in our art is just trying to kind of make things that look fun, things that we enjoy to see, so it's always relatively positive, pretty bright.
The combination of Dabs' cartoon style and Myla's photorealism clicked, and they decided to continue to work together despite their disparate styles. In 2009, the two made their way to Los Angeles, making it their permanent home, and shortly got married afterwards.
It's kind of sick, but it's kind of awesome at the same time. We don't do anything else except for just paint things. It's either walls or paintings or whatever. It would always begin with us sitting in front of a couple of pieces of paper and just talking and little thumbnails and drawing and throwing things back and forth.
And even though each of us has different elements that we add to the painting,
we're super familiar with what we both do, and because we studied together, we were taught the same things as well. I guess that helps it work.
Their artistic infusion has allowed them to paint on everything from murals and installations to simple paintings.
I don't think there is one specific surface that we like to paint on, because we paint on trucks or we paint in installations in galleries, and I don't think I would really be able to say that there's one that we like more. I think that I love that they all exist because it kind of keeps us fresh.
As synergized as they are, even they recognize that working together can have its limits.
We always have two going at one time because they're not big enough for us both. We tried that and we used to do that, but it was just too squishy, and our brushes would hit each other in the face all the time. I'll start one and Myla will start one, and then just a few like back and forths until it's done.
Looking to the future, the couple hopes to be able to continue creating and pushing their craft.
we are looking at doing more in the future to continue making larger scale installations. The last couple that we've had, we've really tried to push the boundaries on that, and we have plans in the future to keep on pushing that further.
That's a good answer. That's exactly what we want to do.
Yeah.
And for anyone looking to start with their significant other, just remember,
we're in a unique situation that we get to work together. It's awesome because we have like 4 arms to get more stuff done. As an artist, you're working from anything that's in your mind or inspiration to create something. And generally that's something that people just do individually. But
if you can make it work, if you do find someone, do it. It's like the best.
Thanks, Dabs and Myla.
Time for today's epic fail.
Does it involve Dabs and Myla?
Close. He landed on one of the other corpses in the Meadowlands.
I thought the fail was just his mustache.
I think real quick we should do one more you.
One more?
Ready? Let's do it.
All right.
At the same time. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Set. Go. No! No! Thanks to our guest, Jenna Bush.